Hi everybody, Tyler here with Sparkle with Tyler, and today I am back for a WIP Chat. We're actually going to do some kitting up today, but first I wanted to show off a gift that my awesome mother-in-law got me for Christmas. She bought me my first ArtDot kits. So we have this fun toy to play with, and like, can I just take a minute to say how awesome she is, and also she got me the giant one as well. She didn't just get me the, I think this is like the 121. No, she bought me the 421 as well. So I have this big kahuna. I mean, it's like a foot wide, but she also got me the giant one. So I think I am set for life on ArtDot containers. I am super stoked to use this today to kit up. I've seen some people who have used the ArtDot containers to kit up. There's stuff that use washi tape, so I'm excited to try that today. But let's catch up. Hi, how are you? Happy New Year. We're gonna kit up duck bath today because I had to do a 180 and all of a sudden realized that my Ticket to Ride canvas that I wanted to use, I can't do because I can't find it. So my Books and Nooks canvas for Yume, I was going to do it for a year with Yume and also double dip and do it for Ticket to Ride. I can't find it. So we did a quick 180 and went with Duck Bath. It's a canvas. It's probably my favorite canvas from last year anyway that came out. And it is what it is, right? I'm kind of also okay with the fact that it only has 30 colors. It's going to make color blocking a lot easier. I just did a unboxing video of it today. I'm recording this on the same day that that video comes out. So feel free to take a look at that. I'm also going to post a link to it. But there is definitely something to be said for a canvas that has fewer colors, and within those 30 colors, a bunch of those are accent colors. There's half a small bag. So I think I can fly through this canvas, and not that I'm trying to fly through it just because I can, not that I don't want to not enjoy it, but give me 1 second, I dropped stuff. But I also think that it's going to be good for me to get a jump start on 2025. I was looking through my end of the year stuff and my goals for 2024 that I had set at the beginning of last year now. So January 2024, I set goals and I didn't hit the goals that I had initially wanted. My goal had been to work on 12 canvases and complete those canvases. I didn't do that. I only got to 7 last year, and I had talked about this a lot, but last year it didn't happen the way I expected it to, and that's okay. But I'd like to do a lot more this year. I'm an ambitious gal by nature, and I would like to give myself how do I put this? I want to give myself the best opportunity possible to be successful. So, my goals this year are mostly just work on the canvases that I want. I'm going to participate in a few events, and I may not have the ability in this video to show you what I did, but I made myself a board. So maybe I can take a picture of it and post it when I'm all in editing mode. But basically, it's a magnetic whiteboard, and it has a bunch of 3x5 cards on it, and it says, okay, so here's the goal, here's how far along it is it a WIP, is it a project? I have all of my events that I want to do for the year on it, so Ticket to Ride, Year with Yume, Drills and Chills, Jingle Drills, and Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper had mentioned that she wanted to do a Disney event in February, possibly. So that's all the events I'm doing this year. I'm not going to overload myself. I'm going to try and give myself rest. And my word of the year is consistency. So I am hoping that by giving myself a visual board that sits on my diamond painting desk, I can see just how far along I am on everything, and it can kind of keep me motivated to kind of keep trucking, but also see how far I've come and how far I have to go, right? So we'll see. My canvases I want to do this year, some of them have obviously overflowed from last year, but the list is, actually I can pull the list. It is, maybe I can't grab it. There we go. I have Nigel, a very proper bird. I have I Will Tear Your Soul Apart, Succulents, Freedom, whatever ends up happening for Drills and Chills, whatever happens for Jingle Drills. I want to do one of my giant canvases. So what I mean by that is like Magic Potion or Snow Castle or Dragon Brigade. I don't anticipate I will finish that one, but I want to get it started. And then I have Special Delivery, and this isn't written down, but in order to do a year with Yume, I'm going to have to do a Yume canvas. And in order to do a Disney event, I will have to do a Disney canvas. So that will pretty much cover like every month, but I'm hoping to get 20 to 30 canvases done. I bought way more than I finished last year. So I'd like to work on at least working on getting the stash whittled down a little bit, or at least coming in even this next year. We shall see. So, as many people watching this know, there is a difference between diamond painting and collecting diamond paintings. So, I do both. But anyway, how are you doing? What are you working on? I would love to know what everyone is working on. Do you have any words of the year for 2025? I personally don't do resolutions, but I know a lot of people do have like their January 1 goals that they set for themselves. Like, what are you up to? How was your holiday? I know for New Year's I spent time with friends, and that was really fun. It was not exactly how I expected it to go, but it was great. It was fun. I'm really glad I got to see some of those people. Good music. But right now it's, I'm trying to get back into work mode, and it is, I feel like I am just struggling. And I keep seeing kind of satirical posts from people about how they just are going back into the office and they feel like they just need a full retraining on their job. And I am with them. I don't typically take a ton of time off for the holidays or for the month of December. And I mean, it was great for me, don't get me wrong. I'm going to do it again this next year, but I feel like my brain is just full of cobwebs when it comes to my job. So it's interesting. I was having a conversation with my therapist, and we were talking about the difference between rest and relaxation. And I did not realize really until this like big bundle of time off what the difference was between rest and relaxation. And she said, coming from a place where, we don't really have snow, she has come from a place where she grew up with the snow. And she said, when you come from a place that forces you to rest with things like snow days or being snowed in, etc., it's cold, you have to be home. She goes, you are forced to rest, whereas being in a place that doesn't have snow, you have the opportunity and almost the expectation to be go, go, go all the time. And it's not something I had ever known until I went up and saw the snow, and got to rest. And being up in the mountains, being up at, the national parks, when it was snowy and cold and quiet, I think that that's going to be a kind of annual tradition for me at this point, because I came back feeling more rejuvenated than I have in years. Probably, possibly more than I have in my adult life. Having someone else do all the planning probably made a huge impact as well. But there really is something to being forced in a positive way to rest, being in a space that is healthy and positive and calm. So I think that might be the new jam, is just go somewhere and rest. I liked it, but I don't know. For anyone who lives with snow, is that kind of like, does that jive with you? Does that sound accurate to you? Coming from somewhere that, again, I just saw snow for the first time in my life this year, it sounds logical, it feels logical, it jives with my experience, but I don't know, right? That's not, I come from a place that, sorry, I am very, how do I want to say it? I am bumping into things tonight. I'm really sorry. It's been an interesting week this week, and it doesn't feel like a Friday, but here we are. So, but yeah, so back to diamond painting stuff. These are brand new ArtDot containers, and I'm super excited to be using them. My mother-in-law got them for me for Christmas, and I'm really, really, really excited to try using them. So I've heard great things about them. I probably eventually will end up getting different versions of storage for ArtDot. I know people have different drawers. I know some people have those really cool, like, they like stand up at 45-degree trays. Lots of different options. But for now, I'm just excited to try the different containers, because I have the Tic Tac containers, I have like the pill caddies, I have a lot of different solutions, but these are my first ArtDot. And as someone who's not always the most, I drop stuff a lot. I was gonna say eloquent, that's not the right word. As someone who's not always the most cautious, it will be nice to have something that if I drop it, it has a screw top on it. So, yeah. But I just put in my passport for Ticket to Ride right before I started recording. I just took my picture of my canvas with my secret word, and because I had to kind of do a 180 really, really fast, I kind of had to scramble to come up with a location. And initially I was going to do a bookstore, because it was Books and Nooks. There's a famous bookstore that I really, really love that I was going to do my Ticket to Ride, adventure to. And now I am going to one of my favorite locations from a cartoon growing up. So that'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, I am a little nervous, because I feel like that might be harder to write about and participate in Ticket to Ride with, because it's easier to write about somewhere that's real, I guess, and to come up with stories about places that are real and physically here, for lack of a better term. I don't really know if I'm making sense with that, but I think I'm still going to be able to have fun with it and make it happen. It'll force me to think, and I do think that'll be fun and good for my brain. I've been reading more, so that will also be good for my brain. And I know that, like, just flexing my mental muscles this year is something I want to do for myself, and I know that I need to do it. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Side note, as I start to kit this up, This kit, if you need a kit for your like diamond painting bingo or anything like that, this kit does not have any 310. So just so you know, if you need it, it does have 5 bags of 823, but it does not have any 310 in it. So it's my first kit in a while that doesn't have any 310, but I think it's still going to be a really fun kit to work on. I actually like 310. I know a lot of people don't, but I've always enjoyed it. So 823 doing blue will be kind of an interesting way to do like a dark neutral. If you look at the image of the canvas, or from the canvas though, it is deceiving the amount of black that's on here because, let me see if I can get it. Like, it does not look like there's 5 bags of 823 in there, right? Like, it doesn't look like that at all. There we go. I don't know where it is. I mean, I know where it is, obviously, because I've looked at the canvas now, but it does not look like there should be 8 bags of, or 5 bags of 823. It looks like maybe there should be a 2 or 3 max, but it's the only dark neutral in there, really, so interesting. But I digress. I'm a little nervous about using this funnel. I'm not gonna lie. One, it looks a little interesting, but two, kind of a small little hole there. This could be interesting. We may catch it on camera that I may just put stuff everywhere all over my desk. It's not so bad. I've seen people have these awesome like funnels that they get from small businesses. If I end up liking these containers, that's what I'm gonna do, because this seems a little trepidatious. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it's also not coming out. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see it better than me. It's like stuck to the funnel. I need like a metal funnel. Oh gosh, that's gonna be an adventure. I think I'm just gonna use my tray, my normal standard DAC diamond painting tray to get this out, because as it stands, I think I'm gonna have to use scissors. Learn from my mistake. Learn from my experience. Please learn from my experience. It's a mess. Let me actually like pause and deal with this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so like as soon as I smacked it onto the table, like everything came out of the funnel. It was fine, but I'm not using this. I'm sure it has its uses, but not for me, not today. Not even gonna deal with it right now. I'm just gonna throw it aside. So, yeah, that means I need to do something with this. Interesting. You see, you get to troubleshoot with me. You get to see like behind the scenes of me struggling. It's an everyday thing. It's just I don't always film it quite so obviously. But 1 color down and 29 to go. Hopefully they're not too staticky. They don't look staticky, but one can only hope. I'm just glad this isn't like 90 colors, because my brain can't handle that. When I have big kits like that, right now I'm just mentally, I have to do those over the course of a couple sittings. I am too nervous about just mixing them up. And also, like, where I live, we get static. It's just a fact. So I have decided now I'm just in a place mentally where I'm going to do them in multiple sittings. There's no one telling me I have to do them in one sitting, so why would I make myself miserable, you know? So, okay. So, 1 down, 29 to go. All the 823 can go over there on the left now. So, I'm trying to think, like, what all can we chat about right now? I mean, there's a million and one things to chat about, but what is there to chat about? I've been watching Great British Bake Off, so I'm finally caught up enough that I'm on the current season. and I'm not like completely caught up. I haven't finished watching it, but I already know that once I finish watching the current season, I'm going to go back and rewatch it again. I'm going to start back from whatever Netflix allows me to watch and just go back and rewatch it. I really enjoy it. So I don't know, there's something about just it's really relaxing. And then what else? And then the next thing is I started reading a book again. I may have mentioned that. I finally started reading for pleasure again. I read so much for my job that often I just don't have the brain power to read after work. I read upwards of like 800 to 900 pages a week for my job. So it's I don't know. I kind of in the last couple of years have not been reading as much as I used to. I used to be kind of a voracious reader. But I'm reading, what is that Terry Pratchett series? Like it's not The Power of Magic, or it's the one with Two Flower in it, if you know what book I'm talking about. So I'm really enjoying it. I really enjoy the humor of it. But I can tell you already that my plans for 2025 include rereading The Phantom Tollbooth. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, books of all time. And on top of that, it is also one of my favorite audiobooks of all time. I probably will consider but not reread. I'll talk about it multiple times for rereading Lord of the Rings. It's just, it is a big, chunky book, and it takes time to get through, but I love it, and I think it's also worth mentioning because I'm recording on Tolkien's birthday. So we are huge Lord of the Rings people in this house. Our wedding included Lord of the Rings references, so nuanced ones, but still had them nonetheless. So yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people listen to audiobooks when they diamond paint, but for me, I don't remember it because I'm too busy counting, or I'm chatting with people, or whatever it may be. So TV tends to work better for me. So I don't know. If you have any recommendations for things that you're watching, I would love to know. I'm really into British television. Sorry, I'm having such a hard time getting these last drills out. This is bad. This does not bode well. There we go. But if you have any recommendations for TV, I've really been watching a lot of like Channel 4 stuff. I'm just into like, not feel good as in fluffy television, but just like kind television, if that makes sense. Yeah, look at how bad that is. I didn't realize how staticky I think I cursed myself saying, oh, I hope it's not staticky. It's bad. It is what it is. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, so, I don't know. We're kind of just going day by day. This weekend I'm going to be spending just as much time as possible trying to work on my Ticket to Ride painting. Because I started a few days late, I'm going to try and basically play catch up, and we will see how that goes. So I will probably curl up with my tablet. I will turn on the remainder of Great British Bake Off. I will finish that up. I will probably after that turn on Hotel Inspector, which I have found is on YouTube, and I think like all the seasons are on. If you have not watched that show, and you are someone who has worked in hospitality, or you're interested in it, or you have like a background in any kind of customer service, it is so, I don't want to say good. It is a good show, otherwise it wouldn't have been on for so long. But it is just so familiar, I guess. So I've been really enjoying it. So I've been turning that on a lot too when I'm cooking at home, when I'm diamond painting. Actually, I turned on at work too. So lots of hotel inspector going on in the Sparkle with Tyler household as well. Hubby is playing Pathfinder right now. Someone almost died earlier again on their adventures. I haven't been out there very much today, but it did sound like when they were in combat, they had someone almost die again. We went from having like no deaths at all in our campaigns to sounds like nearly another one again. So interesting how stuff happens. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I've talked about it in another WIP Chat, possibly too. My husband is a dungeon master for several D&D campaigns, and previously, like, no one in his campaigns had lost characters, and recently they've been dropping like flies. So just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. But yeah, is there anything going on your side of the screen though that you are excited for 2025? Like, I know right now for me, I am just excited that I've been getting to work on time. But I'm also really excited and proud of myself for getting like my 2025 board done. I haven't done like my video recap of, how 2024 went for my channel, but I am really proud of the fact that I've taken a step back and I've looked at how my year went like on a personal level. And I'm proud of myself for the fact that I sat down and I chose my word for 2025. That took me a while to do. But I'm really happy with the word that I did end up choosing too, because I think it was very kind. It's not, I think last year, I don't remember what my word for 2024 was, but I feel like my word for 2025 is much, like, it has the opportunity to be very kind, right? Because consistency is not just consistency in things like daily goals or exercise goals. It's like consistency with self-care and rest. So yeah, I just think overall I'm excited for and proud of just how the last 3 days have gone, and hoping it'll stay that way. I'm really hoping that I don't get sick as much this year. I just got so sick in 2024, just over and over, and surgeries too, right? So even though I'm pretty sure I'm going to be having more surgery, or we'll find out more about ear stuff soonish, I don't know, waiting to hear about that. Like, I'll find out more and let you know, but even then, like, I'm hoping I won't be sick. There's a difference between surgery, recovery, and sick, big difference. But like mental health, right? It's so important. I don't have to tell people how important mental health is a lot of the time. Like, 2024 was really stressful, especially the end of 2024, and I'm really hoping that 2025 that things are okay. Let's hope they're okay. But without getting into it too much, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to sit here and think, like, how long is it going to take me to do 30 colors? And what's kind of nice is because I have this recording, I can actually tell you how long this is going to take. Weirdly enough, I have a monitor, right? And it's ticking up with the time, and I can actually see how long it's been. And you know how, like, sometimes time does the time ninja thing where time feels super duper long and you have like microwave minutes, so a minute feels like an hour, or other times where like it's the reverse, where like an hour feels like a minute. Right now I'm in microwave minute mode, and I feel like I am not prepared to do a WIP Chat because I feel like I've run out of stuff to talk about, which isn't true, but I feel that way, and I probably shouldn't admit to it, because that means I came here unprepared, but it's the truth. I know it's been a couple weeks since I have recorded, so obviously we are going to talk about that. But just in terms of end of the year stuff, I always think it's really important to acknowledge like where we're going, where we came from, what's good, and like what's going on, right? So, yeah. But I don't know if I have like posted or anything since Christmas and holidays and all of that. So, belated holidays, WIP and Chat holidays, obviously in unboxings and everything, I've mentioned it, but belated Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus. I don't know if Eid is this time of year. Someone please let me know if I would love to know more about that holiday if anyone has information about it. But happy holidays to everyone if you celebrate solstice. So, yeah, I hope everyone had a safe and gentle and in the best way non-eventful holiday. Things around here were pretty good. We have a tradition that on Christmas I make just those like Pillsbury, like not crescent rolls, but cinnamon rolls. And I finally learned after making them for years that you are supposed to shove them all close together and not space them out on a pan. And that's why for the last many, many years I have burned them. So this year was the first time I didn't burn them. And that was awesome. And then we turn on our fireplace on YouTube because we don't have an actual fireplace. And just kind of hung out, did our family thing, then went over and spent time with family. Christmas Eve, we had gone up to see my parents up at their house. So I'm trying to, whatever. Christmas Eve, we had gone up to see my parents. So it was nice to have that time with them and then come home and have our time and then go over and have time with my in-laws, and just it spaces it out really nicely because then we're not rushing around trying to have like 6 meals in one day. We did that one Thanksgiving and it was I thought I was going to I felt horrible because I was so sickly full. So we've learned over the years of being together, my partner and he and I have figured out that it's just like, is it imperfect that we can't go to everyone's house all at once? Yeah, but it's also just become our tradition that we go to each person's house on a different day, and it's fine. Like, we're adults. It's not that big of a deal for us and our family. The bigger thing is the community piece, and spending time with each other and seeing each other. And I recently found out, like, one of my friends' moms had a second stroke, and so it was just like, it was a reminder of just how important it is to spend time with your family and how precious that time is, to be with them and spend time with them. And it doesn't matter what time of day it is, right? Like, or what, doesn't matter what time of day, but it doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas or if it's 2 days before or 2 days after. What matters is you're spending that quality time with them. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sad that, you know, my friend's mom is not doing as well. She is feeling, I shouldn't say feeling, she is recovering better than I actually expected to hear. But also at the same time, like, her mind is there, but her body is not cooperating. And I think anyone who maybe has experienced that with family or personally experienced it, like, it's really hard to see. And so my heart is really like, my heart is heavy for them. And that family just went through so much, excuse me, that family went through so much stuff in 2024. I really want them to have a safe and boring and quiet 2025. Like, I know that I tend to say the same thing over and over in my closers. You know, But I really do mean it. Like, there is something to be said for having a boring and mundane year, um, especially when things have been so chaotic um, in months prior. So definitely give yourself a hug, give your family, chosen blood or otherwise, a hug right now, because things are crazy and you never know how much time you're going to have. But also just everyone likes a hug, right? So, yay. Fun things though. Thing one is currently hanging out with us right now. He is sound asleep on the floor. I don't know if the last time I did a WIP and chat, I had talked about the fact that he has hurt himself somehow. So he's currently doggy drugged up and kind of on doggy house arrest right now. He's not super pleased about it, but it is what it is. He's getting lots of bonus cookies, so that's not a bad thing. And I think he just has a muscle strain, so that's not so bad. But it's hard to keep a 75, 80-pound dog quiet when he's bored out of his mind. So even as a greyhound, let me tell you, like, greyhounds, when they're bored, they want to do things. So I think he'll be really, really happy once he is kind of like off house arrest. And he gets to just go, see his grandma, grandpa, see his doggy friends, see his doggy neighbors. He did make really good friends with the security guard today in our area. We got to do like a little photo shoot today with the security guard. I thought that was so cute. Thing one makes friends with everyone. Just absolutely everyone. I don't know. You know how some dogs are just buddies with everyone? That is one of our dogs. Our other dog is just wants to be with her dad. But Thing one is friends with everyone. And like even at the dog park, he goes around. He doesn't necessarily want to play with all the other animals, all the other dogs, but he wants to go around and get pets from everyone. So if we can't find him, we just start looking for the other dog owners. And sure enough, every single time we find our dog just chilling, waiting for pets from one of the other people. And he will wait. It's pretty funny. So he'll just stand there and politely wait until someone pets him. And then if they don't, he will just kind of move a little bit in front of them and wait. And he's a perfect height for someone to just put their hand down and like pet him. So they often, like, if they don't know he's there, they'll still accidentally bonk him and pet him. And at a dog park, what are you going to do if a dog's standing there asking for pets? You pet them. So he's spoiled. He knows it. He knows that people like him and love him, and because he's a big dog, and greyhounds aren't super common where we live, he gets a lot of positive attention. So yeah, I wouldn't say he's a prima donna, but I would say he's very spoiled. And he's our baby, and I love him. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I do think one of these days, if I could ever get it set up properly, I would love to have like dog cam. I know how like some people have their WIP and chats and their lives and stuff set up to have like doggy cam. I would love to do that, just because I'm biased and I love my dog. But if that sounds like fun or cute or whatever, let me know. I'm currently not, my setup is not such that I could do it right now, but maybe someday. Not right this instant. I just realized I have not been pouring these on camera. I hope that's not like a deal breaker. Oh my god. I'm telling you, they're static. Just, it's bad enough that it's annoying. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Let me just quietly concentrate on this real fast. I swear, I've tried the frozen drills thing. I've tried acetone. I've tried, the one that's working the best right now is where you like kind of breathe a little bit into them and you kind of like fog up the the bag, that one is working the best right now, but it's still not foolproof. And I'm afraid that I'm going to inhale one of these tiny little drills and have to end up like at the doctor's explaining like, oh yeah, I just kind of blew into a bag and now we have pneumonia. Could you imagine? Could you imagine having to go to the doctor and explain that? Like, I know there's way worse. There's definitely way worse, especially if you like scroll through reels and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. If you watch like Nurse John or anything like that, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't know. Maybe it's a irrational fear that I'm gonna just inhale one of these tiny drills, but I have found them everywhere, and I've heard stories about people finding them everywhere. Badge drills, bottoms of shoes. I found one on my dog once, like a mile down the street after a walk. So I know for a fact that these little things will go anywhere they so desire. I don't think it's completely what's the word I'm looking for? I am struggling so much with words tonight, y'all. I'm so sorry. I don't think it's completely unreasonable to think that these might end up like in a lung if you accidentally inhale one, because they're so light. But we are getting there with the drill colors. I would say we're like, I don't know, a third of the way, halfway there. For some reason, kitting up to me feels like the biggest chore. Obviously, you have to do it, and it's worth it in the end, but it does feel like more of a chore than when I first started diamond painting. I don't know. Sometimes I'll do it out at my main computer, and I'll hang out with my husband or whatever, and we'll just chat, but I've learned not to do it like in the living room. I'll do it at a desk because it's just, I don't know, I feel like that's asking for trouble. Doing it on a white surface also has helped me when I have drills that are jumpy. I can pick them up easier. I can find them easier. But I don't know. Where do you kit up? Do you use like a specific area? Are you in a dining room? Do you have a specific craft room? I know someday, like if I ever win the lottery, we did not win Mega Millions, but gosh darn, I tried. If we ever win the lottery, like I want a designated craft room. I want one of those beautiful drafting tables. I would love to have like a dedicated sewing table. But right now I have my awesome little table that we're working on, which is separate from my work desk, which is separate from the other room, which has my PC on it. But it's not as beautiful and amazing as some of those setups that I've seen people have. Some of the setups that like I've seen some hardcore diamond painters have, and that is a compliment, not a judgment, is incredible. I would love to see like some of those setups in person. Like, I don't know if anyone here has seen the people who have the setups with all the trays that are like vertical against the wall. And so they'll just pull their trays out from the wall. The trays are already set up, and then they'll just grab the trays from vertically. Obviously, I can't quite show you the way my camera's set up, but they'll just like pull them, almost like old school like card catalogs is what it reminds me of. It's just so cool. For me, that's terrifying because I drop things all the time. I feel like I would just either bump into that and drop it, and the whole tower would come down, or thing 1 and thing 2 would bump into it and drop it, and everything would come tumbling down. But it's so pretty. And or I dump all my colors together and just, I could see that going wrong for someone like me who just, you know, the ADHD is strong. But it's just really cool what people come up with and how creative people are. People are constantly coming up with just these really cool solutions to however they want or need their crafting spaces to be. I've seen some incredible sewing rooms over the years too, and so I don't know. I love to see what people do with their spaces, because it gives, you know, everyone else an opportunity to, you know, borrow from that, learn from that. And also it's just kind of cool. It's like a glimpse into other people's processes and creativities. Like even not even on a designer like home aspect, but do you remember when someone realized you could do the washi hack? How big of a deal that was? That was like a life-changing diamond painting thing. All of my trays basically have that now. Like I have never gone back, especially on my white trays. So just it's awesome when the community shares their experience, and it's awesome when people can figure things out that help everyone. I love that. So yeah, but I'm at a point right now. It's Friday night and my brain is fried. And I honestly think, even though I'm only like halfway done with getting these sorted and broken down and put into containers, I think I need to tap out for the night. I'm just tired. Normally I would be able to power through and get a lot of this done in one night, but I just kind of want to enjoy the process and get through this. I really wanted to start working on this canvas tonight, but tomorrow is fine too. This video will probably go up tomorrow, so maybe I'll have a little note at the end that says, hey, yeah, I got them all kitted up, here we go. But as of like right now, I can feel myself wilting. I already took a nap after work, but I can just tell by my workspace. I can tell by how my train of thought is. I can tell just by how like non-dexterous I am. I think it's time for me to go to bed early, and that's okay. Like I still feel like I'm kind of recovering from New Year's, even though I didn't drink or anything on New Year's, but I think just I'm catching up on sleep, and I think I'm just catching up on just self-care, like lots of self-care that's going to be happening in the next few months, as well as a lot of work travel. So I think I'm just kind of mentally prepping for all of that. But as always, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I would love to know what you're working on. If you're participating in any events, I would love to know what those are. I would love to know what your diamond painting goals are for 2025. I would love to know if you have a word of the year. If there's anything that you're just kind of framing your year around, whether it's a goal or a word or an idea. And also just, I hope everything is just going smooth right now, and that, you know, your health is well and family's okay, blood or chosen. And for now, I am signing off, but I will probably be back tomorrow with at least some kind of update, whether it's on community tab or video, to just say like, yeah, I actually got this done. Until then, I will talk to you later. Bye.